Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. Welcome back to another video. And in today's episode, I'm going to be going over my top 10 favorite Parfums de Marly fragrances for the winter. So make sure to stay tuned. Now before I begin this video and I tell you about my top 10 favorite Parfums de Marly fragrances for the winter time, and I tell you why I enjoy these fragrances so much, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance related content, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. Make sure to enable all notifications by clicking on the bell icon, and of course give this video a thumbs up if you like this type of content. I also want to mention that there is going to be an event at the Parfums de Marly boutique in Manhattan, 805 Washington Street. It's going to be on Wednesday, December 22nd. They're doing their holiday special. I hope you can attend. I have a few things to do with family that day, so unfortunately I won't be able to go. But if you do end up visiting the Parfums de Marly boutique between now and the new year, if you mention my name and say that Steven sent you, you're going to get a free gift with purchase. And they have beautiful packaging for the holidays, so I hope you're able to take advantage of the opportunity. And of course, Parfums de Marly is a brand that I have loved for the past few years now, very passionate about their fragrances. And with that being said, let's just go ahead and dive into the list, and I'll tell you all about why I enjoy these top 10 Parfums de Marly fragrances so much for the winter time. So the first one that I want to talk about is actually one that I enjoy wearing a lot in the autumn as well, and this one is Habdan. Now Habdan is frankincense, myrrh, and apple. It's a little fruity, it's incensey, it's smooth, it's a very complex fragrance, and it seems to go in a few different directions. I really enjoy Habdan. Now the next fragrance that I want to talk about is Pegasus. And we're talking about the original Pegasus. Now Pegasus Exclusive is in this list as well, but the original Pegasus has the almond, the jasmine. I find it to be very versatile, especially when you're wearing it indoors in a climate-controlled environment. So this is the type of fragrance that I can see myself wearing all season long, and any season of the year. And so this is definitely one of the most versatile Parfums de Marly fragrances aside from Layton. The next fragrance I want to talk about is AQUATIC. Now, AQUATIC is definitely ready for the colder weather. It's oud and rose, but it has some spicy ingredients in there as well. This is definitely one of the strongest and longest lasting Parfums de Marly fragrances, part of the Arabian Breed collection, if I'm not mistaken. Used to be an exclusive at Harrods in London, sold for $350. Now you can pretty much find it anywhere. If you're a fan of oud and rose, please check out AQUATIC by Parfums de Marly. And of course, the next one is Awajan. I love wearing Awajan in the autumn just because it has that cinnamon, fruity, apple kind of a vibe. It definitely smells festive. It puts me in the mood for, the autumn season, and it's certainly evocative of this time of the year. There are some fragrances that I feel like perform a little bit better than Awajan for the colder weather, and that's the reason why this fragrance is not a little bit higher up on the list. And of course, the next fragrance, one of the most versatile fragrances by Parfums de Marly, and it's Layton. Layton, you have the vanilla, you have the lavender, you have the apple. Very classy, an appropriate amount of sweetness. It's playful, it's youthful as well, and it also happens to be the brand's bestseller. If you're not familiar with it, I would highly urge you to check it out. I think you're gonna love it. The next fragrance kind of matches what I'm wearing today, and this one is Kalan. Now Kalan is a really dark, deep, resinous fragrance with an appropriate amount of sweetness, I think. Kind of has like this blood orange vibe about it, and it's definitely an earthy fragrance too. So one that for some people could be potentially on the daring side, and so you really need to take the time out for yourself, sample it, see what kind of an impression you get from it. I know a lot of people out there, they feel perfectly confident wearing it whenever, wherever. So it is subjective, it depends on the individual. The next fragrance I want to talk about is, of course, one of my favorites. You can't go wrong with this fragrance for this time of the year, and that's Pegasus Exclusive. So a darker, deeper, richer, more resinous version of the original Pegasus with added agarwood. It's an excellent, excellent fragrance in my opinion. Now the fragrance in the number 3 spot is one of my favorite Parfums de Marly fragrances of all time. This is definitely legendary status in the community, and of course it's none other than Herod. With this fragrance you have the tobacco, the honey, It's a really deep, raw, and illustrious fragrance for this time of the year. Herod is such a classic from the brand. Now, the fragrance in the number 2 spot is one of my favorite fragrances from this brand of all time. It has tonka bean, patchouli, green apple, nutmeg. It's really flavorful, it's fruity, but it has that vanillic sweetness about it that I really love. And of course, if you've been watching my channel, you know that the fragrance I'm about to mention is Carlisle. Same collection as a Castor. What an amazing fragrance, especially if you're a fan of fragrances that are a little bit on the sweeter side. That sultry vanilla is exceptionally well done. Now, the fragrance in the number 1 spot is a fragrance that I was patiently waiting to include on this list. I didn't get a chance to include it on my autumn list, so I'm going to leave a card for that up here. And the reason for that is because I feel like this one is appropriate for the winter time solely. And this fragrance is Layton Exclusive. This is such an amazing fragrance. You have the DNA of Layton, you have that sweetness in the base, but then you also have the smoky quality about it with the agarwood. It really enhances the DNA in such a magnificent way, allowing you to wear that Layton DNA when it's really, really cold outside, giving you incredible longevity. Layton Exclusive is an amazing release by Parfums de Marly. So there you have it, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. Make sure to enable all notifications by clicking on the bell, and give this video a thumbs up if you like this type of content. And if you have the opportunity to do so, make sure to stop by the event at 805 Washington Street on December 22nd. I hope you have a great time. Gift with purchase. Love you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.